I began by asking whether the Trump re-election bid for the White House should be put on hold until he has cleared his name in court.
I mean, I'm quite sure the Democrats would love him to do that. But what we've seen already is that they've decided, and not just recently, they've been frankly deciding since 2016 to just go after Trump and by any means necessary. You know, here in the United States, when we see prosecutors who use something that's frankly too stale because of statute of limitations, pulling a federal issue that's outside their jurisdiction that all federal prosecutors said they weren't even going to deal with and go after, to try to shoehorn that into some felony indictment, we think it's a joke. We think it's foolishness.
So if Trump were to actually be convicted of a crime and ends up in jail, would you describe him as a prisoner or a political prisoner?
Oh, it'd be definitely political. I mean, look, I don't see it even getting that far, to be honest with you, because even people who are on the Democrat side of the aisle who are in the legal profession all look at this as slim, really ridiculous. It's beyond the pale.
But the greatness of America is that no one is above the law. It's the rule of justice. So why should that not, involve Donald Trump?
First of all, I agree with that. Nobody is above the law here. But when you look at the proposed information from this prosecutor, what you're looking at is just a hit job. And people are allowed to see a hit job, look at a hit job, smell a hit job, and call it a hit job.
But it was Donald Trump, wasn't it, who set the tone for this sort of stuff, because he was the one who in 2015 and 2016 called for Hillary Clinton at every speech that I went to be locked up.
You can say whatever you want in a speech, but when Donald Trump was president, did he turn the Department of Justice into a massive fact-finding mission to go after Hillary Clinton? No, he did not do that. So you could say stuff in speeches. And oh, by the way, Hillary Clinton did violate the Espionage Act. And the only reason why she was not prosecuted is because her name is Hillary Clinton.
This is trying to overturn a university-recognized election result. That's what Donald Trump is accused of in the far more serious cases that he might be facing in the coming weeks and months.
Well, look, every candidate is allowed to say how they feel about the election. When you're the man or woman in the arena, you can say if something was dirty pool or whether it was up and up. You know, I talked about soccer. You know, look, if somebody gets a red card pulled on them and they think it was bogus, I think the player is allowed to say that. The coaches are allowed to say that. Just like how candidates are allowed to say it if they think they got a raw deal in an election. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think what you got to do after that has taken place is make sure that you examine your rules, your procedures, so that the rules are clear, that the process is clear, and that the results are delivered timely.
Is it then possible, finally, that Donald Trump, if he is convicted by a jury, could end up running for president as a convicted felon?
It's definitely possible. The only thing that disqualifies somebody from running for president in the United States is A, not being old enough, B, not being a United States citizen, and C, being actually convicted in the United States Senate. He's not going to be convicted in the United States Senate. That's not happening. So, you know, whatever happens in this case in Manhattan, which is ridiculous and foolish, by the way, but he has to stand before the jury of his peers. Even if that happens, it's very possible he could still go on to become president of the United States. I guess he could pardon himself at that point.
Congressman Byron Donalds, thank you very much.
Anytime.